Well, hello, dear friend. Well, let me guess. You love your husband. I know you do. And but some days you feel completely drained. Every conversation feels like you're walking on eggshells, right? hmm you're giving, and by the end of the day, your energy is depleted, it's kaput, it's gone. Sound familiar? Yeah. Well, if that's you, you are not alone. And the truth is, dear friend, neurotypical wives are almost always exhausted in neurodiverse marriages. Even when things look, they look fine on the outside, right? Well, in this particular video, I'm going to break down exactly why this happens. And I'll share the tools and scripts and boundaries you can use to protect your own mental and emotional well-being. And also to reset your nervous system because you're going to need that one too for sure. And finally feel like yourself again, okay? Without changing him, without changing your husband, right? So stick around because later I'll share three scripts that you can use tonight. Yes, ma'am. You can use these three scripts tonight, and they're going to help. That will help your high masking autistic husband understand your needs in a clear, direct way. Okay. Yeah. And why these scripts can completely change your relationship dynamic. Are you ready? Well, I'm ready. So let's go. Let's go. Oh, nope. But before we dive in, I made a little something special for you. I want to let you know about it. Um, I made a free checklist for you, and it's called Peaceable. It's not called Peaceable. It's called Peaceful Conversations with Your Autistic Husband. That's a long title, isn't it? So we're just going to call it the Peaceable Conversations Checklist. How about that? So I've made that for you. It's packed with exact scripts and step-by-step guidances, right? Guidance to help you stop walking on eggshells, you know, to communicate calmly, to make you feel seen, to make you feel heard, and to make you feel understood. Even if your husband shuts down or even if he gets defensive. So I want to make sure that you get this. Grab it, grab it after you get through watching this. The link is in the description below, and it's free. And it's a tool that I use quite a bit. It just helps me to feel more confident and emotionally safe. And I also share it with some other women that I talk to as well. Okay. So now, are you ready? Now I think I'm ready. Let's go. Okay. Okay. So let's start with the root reason why neurotypical wives feel drained. Yeah. Emotionally, most of the time. Yeah. Well, let's start with number one. Here we go. Neurodiverse processing differences. There are neurodiverse processing differences. You process things differently. He processes things differently, right? Your husband processes information, emotions, social cues, all of those things. He processes differently, and he might miss those subtle hints, right? So don't use hints with him. Forget it. Um, he will probably need extra time to process his thoughts, right? Um, or or even become, overwhelmed without you realizing it. He can, all of these things are working in the background that sometimes you don't see, and he gets overwhelmed. So then that can go into a meltdown, right? Okay. But anyway, number one, that was the first reason why women can feel drained in their neurodiverse marriages. Okay. Let's go to number two. High masking energy. High masking energy. Many autistic men, they mask or suppress their natural tendencies to meet social cues. Okay. Um, or to meet social expectations. That's what I meant to say. And this is so exhausting for them. It really is. Because you're pretending, you're trying to appear, he's trying to appear like everyone else, right? And and this can make them emotionally unavailable at home, right? To you, to the kids, leaving you, dear friend, to carry that whole emotional load on your own. And it happens, right? Okay. So that high masking energy, um, yeah, they tend to suppress, you know, who they really are and their traits. Okay, let's keep going. And then the third and final um, reasons why neurotypical wives feel drained is constant emotional calibration. Yes. Neurotypical wives often adjust their tones, right? Their tone. Um, do you do that? I've done it. Yeah. Um, you typically, maybe you adjust your expressions. You avoid words that might trigger his stress, right? Or his shutdowns, right? Do you do that? I've done that. Yeah. I see you shaking your head. Yeah. Um, and if you've been doing this for years, if you've been one of those, if you've been married to your guy for years and years, 10 years plus, it can create chronic stress and exhaustion. Okay. It can absolutely create that, but you don't have to stay in that space because there are tools. Okay. There are ways to mitigate that. Okay. So we got those three, right? Neurodiverse processing differences, high masking energy, and constant emotional calibration. That's why NT or neurotypical wives are drained. Okay. In a few minutes, though, I am going to share, so hang with me. In a few minutes, I am going to share those three exact scripts I was telling you about that helps you to communicate clearly without, escalating conflict, right? And why they can reset both your nervous system, yes, dear friend, and his. Hmm, yeah, okay. Sound good? Great. But now I want to talk about and just share with you, you don't have to walk on eggshells for the rest of your marriage, whether you're a newlywed and you're just getting started, or you're not even married yet and you're dating and you're in the fiance mode. No, you don't have to tiptoe around forever, right? And here's the secret. Here's the secret, dear friend. You can stop walking on eggshells by equipping yourself with the right tools. Yeah, I'm always going to talk about tools because we have to have them. You have to have them. Me and you. Yes. Um, so here are three. Okay. So use simple, direct scripts that say exactly what you need. You have to be clear. I can't mention that enough. You have to be straight to the point and direct. Okay. Number two, reset your nervous system. This is so big. Reset your nervous system before a difficult conversation. Okay. Um, use slow breathing, ground yourself, or, you can use a short pause. Just take a beat, step back, take a pause. Um, to keep you calm, right? And then number three, set emotional boundaries. You have to do that to protect your energy. Yeah. Without blaming him. Okay. And, when you do this, your husband can hear you in a safe, non-threatening way. Okay. And, you can regain your sense of self. You can regain emotional clarity and confidence. Okay. And some confidence. Hmm. Okay. Well, let's keep going. Ta-da, here are the three scripts that I promised you. So are you ready? You want to write them down? You can, or you can always go back and rewind this video and catch it later. Okay. So, number one, this is the first script. It's called the gentle request script. So, I'm going to give you an example of this script. So, here we go. Honey, when we discuss plans last minute, I feel stressed. Could we schedule a 10-minute check-in after dinner? You see how clear, how direct, how concise that is? You're saying what's going on. Emotionally, you're saying, I feel. You're not blaming him. You're not saying anything about him, right? And you're specific. Could we try X, Y, and Z at this time, right? Okay. So that's the first script. It's called the gentle request script. Number two, let's keep going. The safety reset script. Here's another one. It goes something like this. I'm not upset, honey. I just want us to understand each other better. That's a good one. And I've used that one before. Okay. A couple times. Um, and you can use this particular script when he begins to withdraw or, he starts to get a little defensive. You can try this one on for size, right? And it will signal safety to him and it'll kind of, tamper things down a little bit, reduce the escalation, right? Okay. And then number three, finally, the pause and clarify script. I use this all the time. I laugh at myself, but I do. I have to use it all the time because I'm good at starting in the middle of a sentence or a thought in my head, and he has no idea what I'm talking about, and it drives him crazy. But anyway, here's an example of the pause and clarify script. Here we go. Honey, let's just pause for a moment so I can explain what I need clearly. I want to make sure that we're on the same page. I'll say that again. Honey, let's pause for just a moment so I can explain what I need clearly. And I just want to make sure we're on the same page. That's a good one. I'm telling you, I use it all the time. And it's great to use when you feel like stuff is getting ready to go left, right? Simply meaning that it's about to get into maybe an all, you might get into a slight argument, where high emotions are all over the place. So this this is a great one to use. So, these scripts are designed to be clear and to be calm and actionable, right? And it's helping your husband to respond to you without feeling attacked. Yeah, and while protecting your own mental space. It's protecting you, okay, as well. All right. Well, those are pretty good, right? I think that was worth the wait. Well, next, I want to talk really quickly about protecting yourself, right? Because you can't pour from an empty cup. I have said that again. You cannot pour anything from an empty cup, dear friend. So here's a couple of things. I'm going to start with number one. Set clear emotional boundaries. Okay. Decide what you will and what you will not tolerate upfront. hmm Yeah. For example, I will not continue a conversation if either of us are yelling. If he's up top, he's yelling, his tone is out of pocket, or if I'm starting to get a little louder, I'm starting to holler and yell, we're going to shut the whole thing down, right? Okay. So set clear emotional boundaries. Number two, self-soothing techniques. You know, um, use something like breathing. If, I don't know if you're into breath work or anything like that, but just taking, just a simple deep breath in and one out, a deep breath in, a deep breath out, right? Take a short walk, clear your head, read the scriptures, talk to God, read it, um, journal, okay? Um, do grounding exercises before or even after you're having a tough conversation, or, do these before and after, You're definitely going to need it after. So try them out. So ooh, self-soothing techniques. Okay, do those. Try those. And then number three, schedule recharge time. Talking about some me time, right? You need it, and I do too, dear sister. So, you know, protect yourself, protect time for yourself daily. And okay, I hear you. You're like, I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. Or weekly, okay? If you can't fit something in some time, it can be 5 minutes, dear friend. Just 5 minutes, you know? You have to have this, read something positive, poetry, read something that makes you laugh. Again, you can read the scriptures, right? Take a walk. If you have a time to take a luxurious bath, take a bath. Um, or cook something special, whatever helps you to reset, do it. And I don't care if it's 2 minutes or you have 2 hours. Take care of you. I'm so big on self-care, so please do that. Now, these strategies help you regain energy. They help you regain clarity and control. Yes, dear. Yes, ma'am. And even in the most exhausting neurodiverse relationships, if you utilize these techniques to protect your emotions and to protect your mind and your spirit, you can make it. Yeah, you can. So as I'm giving you these tips and ways to self-soothe and protect your mind and to communicate and all of these things, if you're ready for even a little bit more support, just a little bit more, I created the Peaceable Wife Quick Action Toolkit. Okay. And it's a step-by-step system with some practical tools and scripts, okay, and strategies, and when you use these, it's going to help to reduce overwhelm, right, in your marriage. It's going to help you to reset your nervous system quickly, and it's going to help you to communicate effectively, right, with your high masking guy, right? Um, it's not therapy. That's not what it is. I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm just a wife, just like you. So it's not therapy. It's actionable, real world guidance, right? That you can use tonight, dear friend. You can start using you can start using this tonight to feel calmer, to feel safer, right? And and more control, to have a little bit more control in your relationship in a good way, right? Well, dear friend, um, your marriage doesn't have to drain you. It doesn't have to. Your husband, and just to let you know, he isn't uncaring, right? He just experiences the world differently. He does. And when you equip yourself, dear friend, when you equip yourself with the right scripts, with the right boundaries and self-care strategies, you can communicate effectively. Yes, ma'am. You can reduce conflict. That's inevitably going to happen, right? And reclaim your sense of self. Okay. Yeah. So don't forget to grab your free peaceful conversations checklist. It is below, so go ahead and grab that. You want that. That's free. Um, and start using the scripts in that free checklist. And do me a favor, comment below. What's your biggest challenge in communicating with your husband, with your autistic husband? I'd love to know. I try to read every single comment, and I do my best to respond to each one. Um, and as I read them, I listen to you, and I try to create content that will serve you, that will help you, that will encourage you. Okay. So I'd love for you to drop a comment. And don't forget, please to like and subscribe. And please share this video with a beautiful soul, another wife, another woman who just needs to stop feeling exhausted and start feeling seen and start feeling heard and understood. Well, that's it for today, dear friend. I am so glad we've been here to chat. Um, and before you go, check out my other video that's coming up. I always have to do this because I can't figure it out. But check this next video, and there's some good stuff in there for you as well. Okay, well, I will see you next time.